Dame Alison's salary is £5.2 million. All right, fair enough. She's probably worth it. I suspect it doesn't go down too well with the majority of people in the UK who are wondering about the rising and unaffordable cost of living.
The boss of NatWest has admitted a serious error in talking about Nigel Farage's relationship with its private banking arm, Coutts. Dame Alison Rose has said she was wrong to respond to questions from the BBC about Mr Farage's account being closed. The ex-UKIP leader had demanded NatWest explain how his financial information was made public as the row over his bank account closure escalated. NatWest said it still had full confidence in Dame Alison at the helm. Joining me now is Michael Wilson, business commentator and former business editor for Sky News.
The half yearly is coming up on Friday from NatWest, because I feel as though she, and also Howard Davis, who's the chairman, who is a real veteran of the city, actually. You know, I mean, he's been ahead of a few things, including what used to be called, I think, the Competition and Markets Authority a few years ago. But anyway, that said, that's going to be very interesting indeed. I want to share something with you. I've just dug this up. Listen to this.
Go on.
Alison, this is Dame Alison Rose speaking in February. NatWest is going to, this is in The Guardian, so it must be true. This is in February. NatWest to end new business loans for oil and gas extraction. What Dame Alison said at the time was, we want to ensure our capital is being used to support a transition while continuing to reduce the financing of harmful emissions. Now, this caused a city friend of mine to comment rather like this. So NatWest is going to be one of the banks that if the wind isn't blowing and the sun isn't shining, then it will have to shut its doors because it's closing down most of the main sources for energy. So it won't have any electricity unless the wind's blowing, unless the sun's shining. I mean, this is ludicrous, isn't it? Why is this organisation getting on with the art of banking?
Do you think then that we're likely to see other relatively big names from all sides of the political divide maybe coming forward and saying, well, this has happened to me?
At the time, my first thought was, I bet there's a few customers in Coutts who are wondering about what's going on. And I bet there's a few customers in NatWest as well who are wondering if do I share the same political views as NatWest? I might not. It's down for me, nothing to do with NatWest at all. All I want to use them for is a bank, same with Coutts as well. And what on earth she thought of talking to a journalist and giving away confidential information over dinner. And God bless him, he went back and actually, as far as I can tell from the reports, said, do you mind if I run with this? And they said, no, go ahead. Yes. I mean, unbelievable. Yeah. It just, I've never seen anything like it. And I think that a load of questions are now going to be asked about the big clearing banks and so on, which once they get onto the moral high ground, it's a really, really difficult place to defend in something like banking and something like money. It just really is. They'd be better just getting on with their business, whatever they think that is.
I suppose we have to give it a little bit of skepticism from the Nigel Farage side. He is the king of spin. He says tonight that Dame Alison Rose is unfit for the job after that conversation. And this story is running for potentially longer because he's very good at dragging it out.
He is, and also I feel as though there's somebody like that with a relatively high profile. I mean, he's a broadcaster as well, and this story is made for him. But nevertheless, it does raise some very, very important questions, which if he hadn't raised, this would not have fallen in the public debate. But I do feel as though this piece in February saying that the bank is supporting a transition while continuing to reduce the financing of harmful emissions. I mean, why not? It seems to be. It's very, very, very worthwhile, no doubt. But is this what banks are supposed to do? Suspect not.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, if you got that debt, you are going to have to repay it at some stage. It's very, very few debts that are completely written off. That's the sad fact of life. And the banks really need to address this and really need to be honest with people, I feel.